So right after that huge Gemini 3 launch, Google dropped something called Nano Banana Pro. And look, this is not just another fun AI image generator. This signals a really fundamental shift, moving these tools from being just creative playthings into a serious professional's toolkit. I mean, if you've ever tried using an AI image generator for actual work, you know the pain. You ask for a simple logo and what do you get? Garbled, totally misspelled text. Or you try to create a series of images and your main character looks like a different person in every single shot. It's a complete gamble, right? And this really gets to the heart of the problem. On one side, you've got these creative toys that give you totally unpredictable results. But on the other side, you have what professionals actually need. Pixel-perfect text, consistent branding, factual data, and just precision control. There's been this massive gap between the two. Well, until now. So let's dive in and meet the tool that's trying to bridge that gap, Nano Banana Pro. And the key idea here isn't just that it makes cool images, it's that it actually understands the context behind what you're asking it to build. The official definition is pretty revealing. They don't call it an image generator, they call it a visualization engine, and it's explicitly built on Gemini 3's reasoning. That right there is a secret sauce we need to unpack. So the best way to think about this is like a two-part system. You've got Gemini 3 acting as the brain. It's handling all the reasoning, the facts, and the context of your request. And then you have Nano Banana Pro acting as the hand. It takes that smart, intelligent understanding and actually renders it into a picture. It's a direct pipeline from a fact to an image. So how does this all come together in a practical way? Let's break down the professional toolkit and look at 4 features that really change the game and separate this from all the creative toys we're used to. Okay, first up, and for so many people, this is the most important one, text that actually works. We are finally talking about an AI that can spell. It generates accurate, readable text in different fonts and languages right inside the image. So what does that really unlock for you? Well, if you're a developer, you can instantly generate UI mockups with realistic text. You can visualize error messages in a bunch of different languages or see how a product label is going to look in a completely different market. And you can do it all without needing a designer for every tiny little change. Second, and this is a really big one, real-time information. Because Nano Banana Pro is plugged into that Gemini 3 brain, it can actually tap into Google Search to pull in facts and data before it even starts creating the visual. Just think about that for a second. You can ask for an infographic that uses live data, or maybe a dashboard based on current statistics. This is what moves AI away from just, making things up and toward actually verifying information before it renders it. This is a huge deal for anyone creating content that needs to be factual. All right, the third game changer is consistency across multiple images. This has basically been the holy grail for anyone trying to tell a story or build out a campaign with AI visuals. And here's how they do it. The system lets you upload up to 14, that's 1-4, reference images to lock in the style and appearance of your characters or your products. This gives you a really powerful way to guide the AI and keep a coherent look. This is incredibly useful, especially for marketing teams. You can test how a product looks in a dozen different ad campaigns, or place a consistent character in all sorts of scenes for a storyboard. Or you could even generate brand-aligned visuals without the massive cost of a photo shoot. And finally, number 4, professional creative control. This is all about giving you the fine-tuned adjustments you need to get the exact shot you have in your head. It's basically a virtual photo studio. You can control everything from the camera angle and the depth of field to the lighting. You can generate in super high resolutions like 2K and 4K and specify any aspect ratio you want. You're no longer just a prompter. You are a director. Now, what's really interesting is how this toolkit goes way beyond just creative roles. Let's talk about a group that doesn't normally come to mind when you think of image generation: QA engineers and testers. For them, this is a total revolution in validation and prototyping. They can generate UI mockups for different screen sizes in an instant. They can do localization testing at scale by seeing exactly how an error message looks in Arabic or Hindi. They can even visualize data from a test pipeline or turn messy flowchart notes into a clean professional diagram for a bug report. So how do you actually get these professional results? Well, the advice is pretty straightforward. First, be specific about composition, things like camera angles and lighting. Second, use those reference images. Third, Iterate in small steps instead of trying to do it all in one giant prompt. And finally, lean into its unique strength by asking for visuals based on real-world facts.
Okay, let's zoom out. The shift we're really seeing here is from AI as a toy to AI as a piece of essential professional infrastructure.
And for professionals, this really isn't a gimmick. It's infrastructure. Think about it. In the same way that APIs became the plumbing for automating data, tools like this are becoming the plumbing for automating visual content. It's a utility, and it's designed to plug directly into professional workflows. The big takeaway here is that the era of reliable, controllable visual automation has arrived. And that completely changes the conversation from, hey, can AI make a pretty picture, to what professional problems can we now solve with it? So the real question is, what will you